Hey there, you are very welcome to this episode of Corporate to Calm. A little bit unusual. You can see me. I am going to put this on my new YouTube channel, so I hope you'll watch it there. Or obviously, you can listen to it across all major platforms that I am on at the moment. The reason for this episode is to chat to you a little bit about my journey over the past 8 months to a year or so. And to tell you that self doubt happens, to tell you that your body will give you signals to slow down, whether you like it or not, and to tell you to keep going and stay consistent. So, three messages there for you guys. Self doubt happens, the body will tell you to slow down, and you just have to keep going. So, before anything, I need to explain I'm fresh off the plane, so hence all of the tan lines, and the hair has not been done. So I'm going for the boho chic look. Um, so basically, wanted to take it back to last summer, I suppose, more than anything else. And what happened last summer is that things were full steam ahead. I opened a Pilates and fitness business in 2018, and that was absolutely motoring. I worked all through COVID. I had online classes, and then I went back to face classes, which was so good. I mean, I had a successful business. I worked very few hours. I made a nice sum of money, and I was working on other projects which will still happen, but I was full steam ahead on other projects with people last summer, and it was amazing. It was a really great place and space for me to be in. And then in October, I was about 6 weeks in to face face and I got COVID in one of the classes, which was a shock because I had been very proactive in looking after me and my family, and wore masks, followed the rules, did what people asked me to do, stayed within my 2K. And to go back when things had opened up and get COVID was a real shock, but I suppose it happened to a lot of people. COVID was not a bother. I was in my room for 9 or 10 days. The kids hugged me through the door. My husband looked after me. It was not a bother. I was making reels. I was working on the business. Um, I had a head cold for about 2 or 3 days. I lost my sense of smell and taste for about 16 days. And that was it. Like, it was really like, it was just like a cold. I had been vaccinated as well. It was like a regular cold, a regular head cold, bar the taste and smell. And then I got back into teaching, and lo and behold, I had no energy. I didn't want to say it was long COVID because I don't know if I suffered as much as other people, but it was significant. So basically, I would get up regularly, get the kids off to school, work in the business, and need a nap in the middle of the day. It was brain fog. It was just losing my breath. I couldn't digest food properly. So I like to talk, and I couldn't eat and talk at the same time. So having dinner was a very uneventful experience because I literally couldn't hold a conversation because I was trying to digest the food. And if I spoke at the same time, I would get out of breath. So that lasted for the guts of, I would say, at least 6 weeks after I had COVID. So right up until Christmas. And then I had the lovely thing of not being able to smell. So my sense of taste came back. My sense of smell was a little bit slow to follow. And all I could smell was burning ashtrays. I was a lounge girl as a teenager and used to have to clean out the ashtrays when you could smoke in pubs. And I could remember that smell. It was just disgusting. I never smoked. And it was a horrible smell, but that's all I could taste and smell was this sense of burning ashtrays, and that lasted well into January. So I contracted COVID at the start of October. So that sensation lasted well into January. I went back teaching a couple of weeks after I had COVID, and I taught maybe 3 or 4 classes a week. And after the 2 classes I taught on a Monday, I was absolutely gonzoed for Tuesday and Wednesday. So the whole thing of teaching the class, demoing the moves, and bear in mind, I am such an active person. I live to move, walk, go to the gym. I like exercise. It's part of me. And to have that kind of taken away from me is really frustrating. It's really annoying. But I couldn't move. Go, I couldn't move. I didn't work out for 4 months. 4 months of not working out, not doing Pilates, not doing anything. I fulfilled my obligations up until Christmas with my clients, and I stopped teaching, and I haven't taught since. And that is where the next chapter starts, because I don't know if I'll ever teach again. And I've only said that out loud to a handful of people. And the more I say it, the more I think it, and the more I probably won't teach again. And I suppose through all of this is going back to my first point, self-doubt. What am I doing? Where am I going? What's happening? A business that I thought I loved, I was having doubts about. And the only thing consistent in my life, and that's, relates to the third point, stay consistent, was the podcast. That was the only thing that was consistent in my life, because I couldn't rely on my body, which is the second point. It's like your body will tell you to slow down. And without my permission, and your body will tell you to slow down. And it did. I just had to stop doing what I was doing. And the projects with other people came to a halt. And it was a nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare. And I tried to put a brave face on it. I tried to go, yeah, that's grand, I'm fine. And nobody would have really had a clue that inside I was really down. I really I was devastated that I didn't have the energy for me. I didn't have the energy for my kids. I didn't have the energy for anything, for my business. I didn't have the graw for my business. And I just stayed consistent with the podcast, and I wasn't focused on growing the podcast. I was just interviewing people, getting the podcast out there, do a little bit of promotion, which wasn't fair to those guests either. And it was a hard time, a really hard time. And through that, I just went into myself. I've a nice network of friends which I can rely on, and they would check in on me and everything like that. But I definitely went in to myself, and definitely I think I increased my alcohol intake quite a bit. And that was frustrating as well, because for 3 or 4 years I'd been toying with giving alcohol up, purely because I didn't really like who I was when I drank. But I was great crack, but I don't know if I don't know. And I definitely increased I put on maybe 10 pounds a stone. And for the first time in my life, I didn't give a shit. I didn't care, because there was so much else going on. And, I mean, I know people talk about body confidence and being happy in your skin. I was happy in my skin. I am happy in my skin. But when it's out of your control, I like to eat my food. I like to enjoy my food. I like to enjoy all types of food. but I also like to know that I can burn it off in the gym or by going for a walk. And when you can't get 20 minutes, 15 minutes around the block without losing your breath, it's just disheartening. And that's what I mean about your body letting you down. And that was my sign to slow everything up. And I did. I slowed everything right up, and I focused in on me and focused on working on me and trying to see how can I overcome this self-doubt? How can I get happier in myself? And I decided in March that I was going to give up alcohol. And like I say, that's a completely other story. And that was, I suppose, the fresh shoots were growing and I was seeing green pastures and I was kind of seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe a little bit of energy was coming back. It still wasn't where it should be. So we're going from October to March now. So we're 5 months later, and I still was not 100%. I had suggestions for everybody. I was taking vitamins, supplements, eating the right things, making sure I had my magnesium and, making sure I slept well. And that was one thing that, I've always said to my clients, don't take screens into the room. I do all that. I observe all that. But my sleep was eluding me. It was not a happy place. It was not a nice place to be. So in March, I decided I was going to give up alcohol. And I did. And a week later, I got COVID again. And just when I thought there was a turning point, I was absolutely catapulted back into this COVID drama. It was horrific. Oh my God, I was so upset that it happened again. But listen, that's life. And again, I'd been boosted, not a bother. Got through it, head cold, fine. And now we're in the start of July, and I honestly believe that second bout of COVID got me over the first bout of COVID. I don't know. I haven't listened. The world is depressing enough, and my life has been depressing enough. So I haven't looked into statistics, or I haven't, asked people about it. But honestly, for me, I think my second bout of COVID helped get over the first bout at the long part of it. And like I say, I don't know if it was long COVID. I don't know. I just know I had no bloody energy. And cut to today, and I'm just completely revitalized. The energy has come back. I'm back training since April. It's great. It's just, I can't even explain how happy I am to be able to go out for a walk, be able to go to the gym, to be able to just go back to me. So that was great to have, my body tell me to stop. I did. And I did some work on it, and I decided that I was going to maintain. I tried Reiki before Christmas, and I was going to maintain my Reiki, and that has been absolutely mind-blowing and mind-opening for me. And as well as my Reiki, I joined the Innovation Academy in UCD to help me with the podcast, because I have a habit of not asking for help, and I needed help. I need help with my podcast. I want this community to grow. I want to help people. I want to share my story. This is only part of my story. This is only one chapter of my story, and I want to share it and let people know that it's okay to take the break, and it's okay to feel self-doubt, and it's okay. But you have to get yourself out of it, and you have to ask for help to get yourself out of it. And I suppose my help was going to the Innovation Academy. My help was focusing on me and, continuing with my Reiki, continuing with my walking, continuing with my gym, and then focusing in on my friendships and focusing in on the people that will help my businesses grow as well. I've overcome my self-doubt. Oh my God. And how I did it is so bizarre. And so, I mean, I can be such a cynic and I can be such a quick judge. I can be such a cynic and I can be so judgy wudgy bear. And I have to say, over the last 5 years, that's something that I really worked on. And I really tried to not judge a book by its cover. And 2 years ago, I started listening to Mel Robbins' podcast. And I was like, oh my God, I can't take this positivity, because I just wasn't there myself. And over the past 2 months, I've listened to podcasts, her books, I've listened to other books. Between the high five habit and the 5 second rule. Oh my God, like life changing, really, really life changing. The Innovation Academy, that is mind blowing. I recommend that highly to anybody who's thinking of, you know, working on their creative brain, working on it's a diploma in innovation, creativity, and leadership. And if you need to work on those skills, oh my God, highly recommend it. I went for it through Springboard. It is such a great thing that I'm doing for me, and I absolutely love it. So, me speaking to you is part of that. It's part of my growth. It's part of me wanting to move forward and help other people with my story and with other people's story, because that's what the Corporate to Calm podcast is about as well. It's about experiences. It's about using others' experiences, others' mistakes, maybe others' triumphs to move your life on. So, whether it's a change in career within the business you're in or outside of the area that you're in. So, if you want to move, or an account manager and you want to become a physiotherapist, how do you do that? What do you do? And that's what I want to help with. It's about people in corporate positions who are looking for answers on how to open their own business or inspiration, because believe me, the episodes that I have recorded so far and released so far, and there's been 30 of them, I can't believe it, 30. 29 of them are different entrepreneurs, different community leaders, and their stories are inspiring. Their stories are just inspiring. We have Dee Dooley, who created Bray's Barbie from a Barbie she found on a beach, who went on to have over 3,000 followers on Instagram, maybe more, Dee, I'm sorry if it is more. And she inspired people through the pandemic. We have Eric Finn, who's example on TikTok and Instagram. And he is an EA Games player, and he plays for Ireland. He plays FIFA for Ireland. He's part of Jesse Lingard's team. And that's a story of consistency. That guy has just hammered the door down of TikTok over the past couple of years, but in the last 6 months, oh my God, he has gone from 1,000 views on Reels to over 1 million. Inspirational story. There is so much to hear. There's Sarah Naylor, who is one of my best friends, and over the past year, I would not have got over the past year without her. And she speaks about creating her businesses and the turnaround her businesses have had. She has gone on to create an academy, and she is helping women be self-sufficient, be independent, be financially independent. It's amazing. And another woman who has inspired me is Dominica Kearns from Divine Discovery, and she is the woman I go to Reiki for. And as I've said so many times to her, it's like meditation on steroids for me. I get my best ideas when I am lying in that room, and she helps me bring those ideas out. It's an amazing experience. And that's just a little snapshot of who is on the Corporate to Calm podcast. And if you're needing inspiration, if you're needing to find out how you can move forward with your life. You don't have to be sad in your job. You don't have to be unhappy in your job. You don't have to have that feeling at 5 to 9, whether you're sitting outside an office now or with hybrid working, you're walking into your spare bedroom or the office you've created at home. You don't have to have that dread. You don't have to. You can create the life that you want by just moving forward and moving on. And that's what the Corporate to Calm podcast and the Corporate to Calm brand will do for you. So this is me signing off and saying to you that when your body tells you to slow down, listen to it, because the work I've done on me, on my mind in the past 6 months is life-changing. That's all I can say. It's life-changing. And I'm so happy, really and truly. Stay consistent. The only thing that got me through from a mind perspective and from a creativity perspective over the past 6 months was the podcast. I stayed consistent. And to some of the guests that were on during that time, I apologize that I didn't push your episodes enough, but they will be pushed. They will be pushed because the growth the podcast is seeing is just amazing. Like #1 in careers, we're climbing up the business charts. I'm just excited. And this is a new venture for me going onto YouTube. I'll put this across my social media platforms as well. And I just want to show you that it doesn't take dynamism to move forward. It just takes you. It just takes you to move forward. It doesn't, there are people that get lucky and more power to them. I love it. I love a bit of luck, but it's hard work. It's working on you, and it's working on you every day. That's the consistency as well. Working on you every day and overcoming that self-doubt. So if you're struggling with self-doubt, if your body is telling you to slow down, listen to it. But if you're struggling with self-doubt, if you're struggling with consistency, you can find me at Corporate to Calm on Instagram. You can find me at Linda Monaghan on LinkedIn. I'll put all the links down below. And you can email me at corporatetocalm@gmail.com. The website is under construction and I can't wait to share that with you. And there is so much more to come. And I just want you to commit to yourself and commit to maybe listening to 2 or 3 episodes and getting that inspiration that you need, because we all need a little bit of inspiration and we all need to know that we're not alone. We're not alone. There's a lot of unhappy people out there. It doesn't have to be like that. There's a lot of unhappy. And when I say unhappy, I'm talking about you going into your 9 to 5, or maybe you're at home and you're thinking to yourself, oh, the kids are getting a little bit older now. Maybe it's time to re-emerge and time to take hold of me. And that's what we're here for as well, to inspire that. Listen to people's stories, people's experiences. And please don't be afraid to contact me. Like I've said, I've given you the contact details there. Let me know what you want to see, what you want me to offer as part of this community, because the future is bright and I am so looking forward to it and to sharing it with you guys. So thank you so much for listening, and I will hopefully do a little 1-on-1 million at least once a month going forward. So if there's any topics that you want covered, please let me know. This is just a little reminder that we're all human, and sometimes we need to slow down and maybe move forward. So Once again, thanks a million. And I'll chat soon.